What if the most hurtful words aren't the screams, but the quiet whispers full of doubt? Welcome back to Inner Stillness, where we don't just talk about life, but explore the depth of the soul, wisdom, and the timeless words of humanity. Today is not about blaming anyone. It's about awakening, to help you understand that sometimes the quietest signs are the loudest voices in a relationship. Emotional breakdowns aren't always loud. Sometimes they begin with silence, casual conversations, vague excuses, and carefully chosen words. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 familiar phrases a woman might use when hiding something. Not to make you suspicious, but to make you aware. As Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Let's uncover the unconscious truths right now. He really understands me. Emotional shift. Lesson. Emotional loyalty matters more than physical loyalty. You might hear her say, "Jason at work really understands me." It seems harmless, right? Just a simple compliment. But let's pause for a moment. When someone continuously praises another person, especially with genuine emotion, it could be a sign of an emotional shift. Her heart might be turning towards someone else. Sigmund Freud once said, "We are weakest when we are in love." If she shares more of her thoughts and feelings with someone else than with you, it's not just a colleague relationship. It's emotional migration. The heart often leaves before the body. Pay attention to where her soul is really belonging. I'm just hanging out with friends. Habits as a mask. Lesson. Habits can hide risks. This is a phrase we've all heard, casual, simple, and seemingly harmless. And of course, it's not always a lie. But when you hear it more often, without any real details, and especially if there's visible irritation or defensiveness when you ask for specifics, it may be time to take a closer look. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Only a fool uses tricks because they are not smart enough to live truthfully." We live in a world where concealment has evolved. It's no longer blunt or obvious. Today, it's subtle. It hides under the guise of habit, something that feels so normal. It often goes unnoticed. When someone keeps repeating vague phrases and avoids clarity, it's more than just a casual habit, it's a shield, a way to deflect uncomfortable truths. It might be easier to say they're just hanging out with friends than to explain what's really happening. It's not about the words themselves, but about the behavior they represent. The refusal to be clear, to give you specifics, might indicate a deeper desire to hide something. And when you confront them, you might be met with frustration because deep down, they know they're not being honest. And the pressure to reveal the truth can feel overwhelming. In relationships, habits can be deceptive. When clarity is avoided and details are hidden, it's not just a small thing, it's a sign that something deeper is being kept in the shadows. Pay attention not just to what's said, but to the hesitation and discomfort that often follow when the truth is too difficult to face. I need some space for myself. Creating emotional distance. Lesson. Space is good, but avoidance is the issue. At first glance, this statement seems perfectly reasonable. Who doesn't need time to recharge and reflect? After all, we all need moments of solitude to maintain our mental and emotional well-being. But here's where things get tricky. When needing space starts to become an excuse, not just for taking a break, but for consistently avoiding your presence, distancing themselves emotionally, and withdrawing from sharing their feelings or experiences with you, it's no longer about space. It's about building an emotional wall. This isn't about giving the other person the time they need for self-care. This is about retreating into isolation and using space as a shield to avoid confronting deeper issues within the relationship. It's a subtle way to drift apart without addressing the underlying problems. Epictetus once said, "To grow, you must accept being seen as foolish." Growth requires discomfort. When someone chooses to withdraw instead of confronting the difficult conversations, that's not about healing, that's avoiding the work necessary to strengthen a relationship. True space, the kind that helps relationships flourish, should allow for self-reflection and a chance to reconnect, not an excuse to vanish or leave things unresolved. Needing time should be an opportunity for reconnection, a way to address issues with clarity and understanding, not an excuse to withdraw and fade away. I have to work late tonight. Time used as a cover. Lesson. Time is how we show love. At first, this phrase seems harmless. Work is important, and sometimes it really does require late hours. Working for passion, for responsibility, for a career, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But when the phrase, "I have to work late," becomes a frequent excuse to avoid you, something deeper might be at play. Viktor Frankl once wrote, "When we cannot find meaning, we distract ourselves." What happens when work becomes the barrier between you and her? Is she truly consumed by her passion for work? Or is she using it as a shield, a way to avoid the uncomfortable reality of emotional disconnection? Work, in this case, isn't just a task, it's a distraction, a way to fill the silence that comes from unspoken feelings. It becomes a mask that hides what lies beneath, maybe the fear of confronting the growing distance, or the inability to face the fading affection. When love is no longer a priority, it's not a coincidence, it's a deliberate choice. Even if it's unspoken, time that should be shared becomes an excuse. Time that should be spent together turns into time spent apart. The question you need to ask is, when did the passion for work start to replace the passion for each other? Time isn't just about how busy we are. It's about where we choose to spend it. When love is no longer prioritized, it's not because of being too busy, it's because we've chosen to put something else ahead. We should take some time apart. Separation as a transition, lesson. Every time apart is a crossroad. Sounds so honest, right? And sometimes, it is. But in many cases, this is simply the opening door to leaving, a gentle way to test living without you before fully committing to the decision. Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult." The truth is, asking for time is often the first step toward detachment. It's not just a request for space, it's a trial period. A way to see what life might look like without you in it. They say, time apart, because it's softer, less confrontational, but the reality might be that they are already mentally preparing to leave. When someone asks for time, get closer to the truth. It's not just about needing space, it's about assessing whether the relationship is still worth pursuing. You deserve someone better than me. Guilt wrapped in humility, lesson. Words reflect inner conflict. This sounds so noble, doesn't it? As if she's blaming herself. But sometimes, it's a subtle way of confessing, shifting the responsibility, and soothing the feeling of guilt. Lao Tzu once said, "He who conquers others is strong, he who conquers himself is great." In some cases, she's not the villain, she's the one struggling within herself, too afraid to confront her mistakes head-on. It's not about you, it's about her internal battle and the guilt she carries. Words that seem kind may sometimes be a hidden farewell, a way of ending things without saying it outright. Be mindful of what is left unsaid in the seemingly noble phrases. Each of these words, on their own, might not seem like an issue, but when paired with emotional distance, a lack of sharing, or a shift in energy, they become red flags. At first, it may appear as a simple statement, perhaps even caring or considerate, but when this phrase is constantly tied to emotional withdrawal, avoidance, or subtle shifts in behavior, it's a signal that something deeper is at play. And here's the crucial point, it's not just about her. It's about you, your intuition, your boundaries, your values, your awareness of the truth beneath the surface. Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters." Sometimes, the very things that cause you pain are the things that awaken you to the truth. It's in those moments of discomfort, when your instincts scream that something isn't right, that you are being called to wake up and confront what has been hidden, from yourself and from others. The discomfort you feel is the beginning of your own awakening, a journey to understanding deeper truths. Listen to your intuition, when words don't align with actions, when energy shifts and things feel off. It's time to pay attention. The discomfort you feel could be the key to uncovering the truth and moving toward personal growth. Have you ever heard one of these phrases and only realized its true meaning after everything happened? What lessons have you learned from your past relationships? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might just resonate with someone else. If you feel like this video has helped you gain more clarity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next video from Inner Stillness. Remember, Silence isn't the absence of chaos, it's the strength to stay calm amidst everything. See you in the next video. Seedling.